Here's the Pelican.
Frattallone's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1299, May 1st, 2024. 91 degrees on this day in 1959 and 24 degrees on this day in 1909. You'll be swimming any minute now, any day now, so you need to get a hold of Aquaside. They've been helping people maintain Great Lake shores for more than 60 years with a complete line of lake and pond control products to take care of everything from weeds to algae. The products are easy to use, they work quickly, and they're registered with the authorities. Call Aquaside, tell them what you're looking at and how the kids don't like it and you want to be rid of it. They'll get you the right products, and your lake will look great all summer long, your lakefront. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com. And it is Aquaside that brings us the ice outs. We have one today. Minnetonka went out on this day, May 1st, in 1965. Can anyone else tell me what significant weather event happened in the spring of 1965?
Massive flooding.
Tornado.
That was flooding, too, and then tornadoes. It was a wild year.
Was that an Oka?
The flooding?
No, the 65.
Fridley, Minnetonka,
Okay.
through that way. No ice outs today on White Bear Lake, and we're not done, but we're done this week.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Sushiro.
On Monday, we ran down all of the candidates who are running for a District 6 seat in Hennepin County on the Hennepin County Board. Among them, for example, Heather Edelson, who is a state legislator, most known for her mental health advocacy, but also because she checks all the ridiculous boxes. She wanted to take away your lawnmower. And I got thinking about that. To me, that's ironic that a woman so concerned about people's mental health, as well she should be, would fail to understand the mental health aspects of cutting your lawn. I'm serious. People love to cut the lawn. They love to go out and fire up the John Deere, the lawn boy, or whatever, and cut the grass. But she wanted to take away. That didn't go anywhere yet. And the candidate that caught our fancy was Marisa Simonetti, because of 6 candidates vying for to survive the primary to run for this seat in November. 5 of them were activists, and then there was this Simonetti woman who just said, "I'm a mom. I don't like crime. I want to do less with more. It's ridiculous." And so we need to learn more about her because she survived the primary. The primary was yesterday. Heather Edelson got 44.27% of the vote, and Melissa Simonetti grabbed 31.66%.
Marissa.
What did I say?
You said Melissa. Marissa.
Sweet Melissa.
Right. Here we go.
Marissa. All right. So here she is.
Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Marissa.
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Are you satisfied with the primary results, or did you hope to do better?
Well, I'm honored by how far we made it. I mean, 31%, and everybody rallied so much. I will be satisfied when we officially win on the 14th.
It seems to me that the voters in District 6, Edina, Mound, out western suburbs way, they really have a chance here to break the mold with you. Do you think that's an accurate statement?
Yeah, I'm different than any other voice who's currently out there. And I think they feel there's hope for common sense. That's the feel I'm getting from talking with people, and people are really excited.
Have you run for office before?
I never have, no.
What compelled you to do it this time?
Yeah, so I'm a mother, and I just looked around and I saw all these issues. There was threats of violence towards the kids' school. My son goes to one of the Edina schools. And then it came up the school board, and commissioner doesn't fund the school board, but I saw that they didn't have money allegedly to fund some of these important services that take care of our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking around and thinking, how do we not have money for these valuable things? So I said, well, I'm going to do something. And I jumped.
Mm-hmm. Where do you stand on things like public transportation and people making sure they have the right pronouns? All of the woke agenda that we've been inundated with in Minnesota. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I think people use, there's some people who maybe actually feel it's important to them, but I think a lot of people use it to bully others and to distract from real issues.
Mm-hmm.
and I will never support anyone who uses bullying tactics.
Would you ever attempt to ban gasoline powered garden equipment?
Why?
That's the right answer.
That's the right answer.
Are we going back to horse and buggy too?
Yeah, people do want to go backwards. They claim they're progressive, but they're going backwards. That could not stand, although that nose is in the tent, and I bet you'll see more of that in the legislature. But it caught my attention that your opponent is Heather Edelson, and she did raise that in February of 2023 in the legislature. It didn't go anywhere at that time, but I just thought it was preposterous, and I'm glad to know that you would not do such a thing.
I wonder, some of these things seem like a waste of time to be pursuing. I mean, shutting down gas lawn equipment, it seems like there's bigger problems that need to be addressed.
Oh, there really are. There really are. How many kids do you have?
I'm a mother to one little boy, and he turns 6 in February.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
So my background is business. I'm not a realtor. Everyone thinks that I'm a realtor. I own rental property, and that's my background. So it's all about being efficient, providing the maximum value to your tenants, and doing more with less.
And the field you ran against and the field you survived to come out as one of two in the primary, they were all essentially professional activists.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you are not a professional activist.
I don't think I'll ever consider myself an activist. Yeah, I'm not. No.
How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
You never ask a woman that, Joe.
I shouldn't do that.
Wow. Can't believe you did that, Joe.
Well,
you don't have to answer.
The backdoor way is, what year did you graduate from high school?
Yeah, that's easier.
Yes.
I graduated in 2011. So I turned 30 last year. I'll be 31 in August.
I got a very young woman. Well,
you can ask me my weight next.
Ask her
he's
what?
smarter than that. No, he's not that stupid.
Not
No,
that smart.
he's married. He knows better than that one.
Are you a local gal, a woman?
Yeah, so I've lived in Minnesota since 2013, and I've been here in Edina. We love our neighbors for the last year and a half.
Where were you born and raised?
I grew up in Pennsylvania in the East Coast, right outside of Harrisburg. A nice homeschool family. My mom worked really hard to get us a good education.
I have a question. Marissa, why is it shocking that you are running on a common sense platform, essentially? We're looking at that from the outside in, and you kind of described that yourself. Why is that so unique in this day and age in politics?
Because we don't have any common sense.
I was letting her.
I know, but I couldn't help myself.
I think there's a lot of people who have common sense, like you guys, right? Who have been bullied by these people, these small little niche groups who come and shout people down and use threats of violence, intimidation, property destruction. And they seem like they're larger than they are because they're yelling. And so the red, one thing I've seen with our win, right? The amount of votes we got, we're very strong, but we're very silent too. Many of us are very silent.
Do you know Heather Edelson?
Not personally. I've met her at different candidate forums.
Right. And she also lives in Edina.
All the candidates were from Edina, which was really interesting.
Yeah, because District 6 includes other cities.
Yes.
Mound and
Carver County
and whatever. Marissa, it was great talking to you. We're going to follow this. I hope the voters of District 6 in Hennepin County realize what they have here. They have a chance to break the mold by electing a non-professional activist. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Have a good afternoon.
Marisa Simonetti.
Go, go, go.
They have a chance in Hennepin County to apply common sense for this board seat.
Yep.
I've always said I have nothing against Heather Edelson, but
Well, it's
all
time.
she is more of the same.
It's what you've been saying for years. It's time to put some adults in these chairs
And
and not professional activists.
and this woman works.
Right.
I don't know that Heather has to. Her husband's the head of, I think, United Health.
United Healthcare.
United Healthcare, Brett. So they, getting back to the lawnmower, they might have a service.
Oh, you think?
They could cut the grass.
You don't think Junior's getting out there and trimming it up?
No, I don't think so. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope she wins.
I want to make one thing clear. I don't really look forward to mowing, Joe. I'm not sure if I like that
Well, that's
blanket
'cause you've
indictment.
got 9,000 acres.
Yeah,
I
it's-
love
it's-
cutting my lawn.
Yeah, it's a 4 or 5 hour ordeal.
No. See, you're looking at the
rather
wrong
not.
way, Ken. When I cut my yard, it's at least 2 or 3 beers. See, you're looking at it the complete wrong way. Don't worry if Dad's lines are a little crooked. Don't worry about
Nobody's
that.
counting on the lawn.
Right.
Now, take a drive down Wisconsin 35, which is the River Road.
Yes.
Do it on a weekday summer morning and drive from here to La Crosse. And every single, and they're all charming little burgs that you encounter on that journey. And every single town has the guy with the suspenders and the John Deere lawn tractor, and he could not be happier.
You know my theory on this, right? I think I told you years ago, with those people you're talking about in the outskirts, the bigger the lawn,
Yep.
the meaner the wife.
Interesting.
There could be a correlation.
He's been
I
out
don't
there
know.
all day.
Yeah, because there's no reason he needs to mow those 9 acres. Come on,
And
man.
what trait of posture does the guy on the lawn deer tractor always do when he's driving it? What do they
The
always
nod?
do?
Is it the nod?
No, it's always turn around and see how the rear wheels
Yeah,
do.
how's that
Yeah.
working back
Yeah.
there?
How's that cut look?
How's that cut look?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. We have to get back to the failed academy. Could you play Mayor Eric Adams of New York?
Yes, sir.
We were
can.
digging that out earlier.
Are you ready for him right now?
Yeah.
All right.
That is what this is about. And so if we want to play the word police, you could do so. I'm going to play the New York City police, where we're going to protect our city from those who are attempting to do what is happening globally. There is a movement to radicalize young people. And I'm not going to wait until it's done and all of a sudden acknowledge the existence of it. This is a global problem that young people are being influenced by those who are professionals at radicalizing our children. And I'm not going to allow that to happen as the mayor of the city of New York. So the men and women of the New York City Police Department, you should be proud of yourself. At the request of Columbia University, after speaking with them throughout the week, at their request and their acknowledgement that outside agitators were on their grounds training and really co-opting this movement. At their request, we went in and conducted an operation to allow Columbia University to remove those who have turned the peaceful protest into a place where anti-Semitism and anti-Israel attitudes were pervasive.
There's a couple of reasons I wanted to play that. He's speaking the truth, and he's not exactly a conservative. But the other reason that there are a lot of pros involved in this is to carefully watch the films of the confrontations. I don't think the average snowflake student who this weekend is going to get a $300 haircut would be taking a swing at a cop. I just don't think they would be taking a swing at a cop. You watch the heated confrontations last night from Columbia, then watch them from UCLA, and then watch them from the University of Wisconsin, and you are seeing pros who know damn well that part of why they're there is they're going to get into it with somebody.
Yes.
And I just don't think your snowflakes are going to do that.
The snowflakes are holding the phones, recording everything.
They're too worried about their upcoming hair appointments and their hypocrisies of whatever they're engaged in. And the second reason I wanted to hear him is that he contends they're radicalizing whichever snowflakes happen to wander out into the quad and take part in this. And those students, those who choose to actually buy into this BS, they have been made ripe for radicalization by the failed academy.
Right.
It's the failed academy that has introduced to them the concepts of imperialism, colonialization, racism, flawed founding of the country. It's the failed academy that has taken these young people and instilled in them a distaste for the country. So now come these pros. These pros have a willing audience there to get involved with it. And again, I'm not prepared to say it's a huge audience of the student body because, again, the pros you see are getting into it with cops. And I don't think a majority of the student body has the courage or the conviction to take on a policeman. They want to pretend that they're identifying with Hamas, so they wear a checkered tablecloth on their head. And that's all they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing.
Well, we saw it here.
I said yesterday, this is the dumbest generation of college students I've ever seen in my life. As an example, here's a Columbia protester.
Got it.
She's got her scarf on and the whole deal. This is from the Telegraph in London because the world is pouncing on this.
Yes.
A pro-Palestinian protester at Columbia has provoked ridicule after she demanded the university help give food to activists who are occupying parts of the campus. The protester, who is part of a group illegally occupying Hamilton Hall at the prestigious New York University, told reporters outside the building yesterday that it should allow supplies to be brought in. She was identified as Joanna King Slutsky, a PhD student. Ms. King-Slutsky called the provisions for the activists who are protesting a basic humanitarian aid. Like, could people please have a glass of water? Ms. King-Slutsky told reporters. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill? Well, I'd have to think about that.
Right. I kind of be on board with that.
If the answer is no, then you should allow basic. I mean, it's crazy because we're an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Jesus Christ.
When I read this, I thought it was so ridiculous that she had to be a plant, that somebody working against the protesting.
She's out of a Woody Allen movie.
Planted her in there to make them look dumb. That's because she's just so ridiculous.
Would you guys like to hear from Miss Slutsky?
Do you think she's legit? Do you think she's real, Chris?
University be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Go ahead, Miss Slutsky.
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
But
Well,
they
have
did
water
put themselves in that very deliberately in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries. We want to take over this building.
Yeah.
Would you please bring us food?
But fetus is the
Nobody's
main thing.
asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
Violently.
They're stopping the delivery of
Let me- Can you
we are
and
looking
this
for-
idiot?
We hate you. Please feed us.
Well, King Slutsky, do you realize this really isn't the way it works?
No, that's the problem. King Slutsky doesn't realize that.
You all around the world, you've got people in dire straits, people starving and stricken with poverty, and they're fighting for their lives. Do you think they ever pause for a moment and tell the local dictator, by the way, could you bring in some In-N-Out burgers for us? Because we're really hungry.
That'd be the equivalent of us going, "Hey, Hubbard, we don't want to keep working, but could you still pay us?"
This is amazing.
That's why I think she's a plant. You can't be that stupid.
Oh,
Ms. King-Slutsky then clarified that she was not sure if the university had tried to stop supplies being brought in. We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it, she said. I do not know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment. She also said that she believed the university was obliged to provide food to any student occupiers who had paid for a meal plan as part of their college fees. On her website, I didn't know she had one, Ms. King-Slutsky calls herself a video editor and full-service digital comms expert for progressive and leftist causes. Earlier on Tuesday, videos of people passing food to women inside a gate at Columbia were shared online. Riot police last night moved in to the protesters who had occupied Hamilton Hall and flown Palestinian flags from the windows. They renamed it Heidt Hall after a 6-year-old they said had been killed in Gaza at the hands of the genocidal Israeli state. It's not genocide. The protests have been raging at the U at Columbia for almost 2 weeks. They're spread to campuses in more than 24 states. On Tuesday, Biden accused the group at Columbia of hate speech and said their occupation was wrong. That's some tough stuff there, huh? Officials at Columbia have accused activists of vandalism, including breaking doors and windows. Well, if you've seen the video, you can corroborate that. A pro-Palestinian protester in Columbia is that's the same thing.
how are you?
Johanna King-Slutsky.
Yeah.
Lady, you're an idiot, and I can't take it. Can't take it. These people are the dumbest college generation we have ever had the shame to witness in this country.
So do you think she's a paid professional or she's just a dumb college kid?
Dumb college kid.
I think
So
she's just a dumb college kid.
Fella, she's an instructor. She's
Yeah.
not just a
Oh,
she's a PhD student and
PhD
instructor
student.
at
Yeah.
Columbia.
Yeah.
We have among our midst here in the Twin Cities a paid protester that we were alerted to via Twitter, I don't know, a few days ago. I'm not even going to give the guy's name. I'm not going to give him justice. But every time there's a protest, no matter what it's about, no matter what,
He's there.
he's always there with a bullhorn
Yeah.
leading the shouting and chanting and violence
Who's
and
paying
whatnot. Well, I mean, we can just generalize and say it's Soros.
Yeah.